So this course is not like the one we treated yesterday, where I told us that that one is a continuous course, like just 101, the continuation is just 102, and so on and so forth. But this particular course is just one time course. You just do it once. There are some programs that will do it in 100 level first semester. There are some that will do it in 100 level second semester, but you will do it. It's a GST course. So computer fundamentals, all we'll be doing here is just an overview of what the computer is, what the computer does, and how the computer operates. So you can see that it's a very bulky material, 326 pages. So we have quite a whole lot of things to. The person that joined, please mute yourself. I don't want anybody to cause anything for us. Please mute yourself, except you have a question. Now, computer fundamentals. Computer fundamentals, that's what we're treating tonight. I welcome every one of us to National Open University of Nigeria. Like I've mentioned earlier, this is one of the core courses that you must do and you must pass. If you do it, you have to pass it, not just doing it. And this material is a bulky one. This material is a bulky one, 326 pages, so we have a whole lot to cover. So you have to follow with all your attention. The study unit one that we'll be talking about tonight, but just before then, let's look at the computer generally. Let me ask one or two people to give us the definition of a computer in their own terms. In your own word, what do you know about a computer? What can you say? If we ask you now that what is a computer, you can see that computer is almost the talk of the town now. Everywhere we have computers in form of different devices like a mobile phone, laptops, palm tops, and the rest of them. So what is a computer? Let me start with Lovett. Please, Lovett, I'll ask you to answer that question. What is a computer? Is Lovett here with us? Lovett, oh, who is the next person? Beauty with brain. Are you there? Okay, please, what is a computer?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. To me, in a layman term, computer is an electronic device that takes data as input and brings out information as output.
Okay. All right, don't worry. You've mentioned important facts that we need. You mentioned data, you mentioned input, and you mentioned output. Once your definition of a computer captures those facts, you are given a reasonable definition. So that's all computer does, processing. And what does it process? Data. And when it processes data, it gives you information as the result, which we call output. Garbage in, garbage out. Every day, at least some percentage of your day, you use it to operate your phone. If you don't have a system or anything, at least you operate phone every day. So what you are doing is, whether you want to make a phone call or anything you want to do on your phone, you are feeding your phone with data. Your phone processes it and give you the result that you are expecting from the data that you fed it with. So that is all about that. So let's go straight to what we have actually. We're going to start with basic concepts. And under that basic concept, we're going to talk about definition of the computer, basic understanding of data processing, the concept of data and information, methods of data processing, and then characteristics of a computer. We won't waste more time. Let's go straight to now. There is this uh, important statement, which is a question. Okay, let me put it this way. As we are going, I'll be pointing us to important sentences that they do cut out as questions for exams and TMA. So as we are going like this, please follow it with your mind because TMA is starting on the 18th, which is very close. And as we are going, you'll be meeting some TMA questions, which once you see them in your TMA, you can just come back to the material to refer to them and say, okay, this is where it is found in my material. Now, computer is fast becoming the universal machine of the 21st century. Now, this is how they normally ask you the question on this. Most times they cut out 24th century, and sometimes they will cut out universal machine. But just know that computer is fast becoming the universal machine of the 21st century. This is not something to cram, it's something you know because all around you now, you see computers in various forms and devices. So computer is fast becoming the universal machine of the 21st century. Early computers were large in size and too expensive to be owned by individuals. Thus, they were confined to laboratories and few research institutes. They could only be programmed by computer engineers. Now, the basic applications were confined to undertaking complex calculations in science and technology. This one is just story. I'm just trying to introduce the topic to you. Now, today, computer is no longer confined to laboratory. Yes, what this introduction is trying to open your mind to is that during the early stage of computer, when they just started the invention of computer, then the size is a very, in fact, if you check only the size of memory, then the memory they were using them is in form of drum. Very big thing. Only memory can consume half of a room. To not talk of the screen, the CPU, and so then it was a very large machine. It's not like these days that we're carrying laptop around in the bag, and you won't back it. Some of you hold palm tops and even phones. You hold it around just like a toy now. At the early stage of computer, when they just started making computer, it was very big then. Not only very big, the mode of operation was complex. Not everybody can operate it then. Only those who did the programming as at then were able to operate it. So a normal, as just a common person cannot just go to buy a computer then and say he wants to operate it. You will not even know what you would do. You just be looking at a blank image in front of you, very big thing in front of you that you don't even know where to start from. So that was the computer of then. But now, from the first statement, which is those of you that attended the GS102 yesterday, you find out that in this paragraph, the topic sentence of this paragraph is computer is fast becoming the universal machine of the 21st century. This is every other thing they are trying to explain in this introduction is captured in this topic. This is the topic of the introduction. For those that attended GST102 yesterday, you know what I'm saying, that this is the topic sentence of this whole paragraph. Every other thing is explanation. So in our modern day, computer is no longer confined to the laboratory. Computing have become embedded in almost every item we use. Yes, your mobile phone, your digital watch, and all those. Even your car now is digitalized. So computer is in everything you use now. We have smart TVs and the rest of them now. Now its application transcends science, engineering, communication, space science, aviation, financial institutions, social sciences, humanities, the military, transportation, manufacturing, extract industry. We are just mentioning different departments and fields where computers are useful. And you find out that almost in every field now they use computer. Even in medicine, they use computer. Diagnosis now are being done using machines and the rest of them. So there is almost no field now that want to remain in the market, relevant, that will not employ the use of computer. That's why this course is a core course and net compulsory for all no matter the program you're doing, you have to do it because this is the age of computer. And even in the school, you'll be using computers to write exam for your first and second year. So you just need the knowledge, this basic concept, fundamental knowledge of computer, which is what this course is all about. Who can remind us the title of this course? GST103. What is the title? The course title. The course code is GST103. What is the course title? I need someone.
I, I think computer fundamentals.
Good. Computer fundamentals. So as you are going now, you bear in mind what you are trying to get. So what is the aim of this particular unit we are studying tonight? We want to know the proper definition of the computer according to our manual or course material. The thing is, we can have 1,000,001 definitions of computer. It's just, if you ask a banker, if you have to ask a banker to define a computer, you get one definition. If you ask a lawyer, you get another definition. So, and so on and so forth. So, we don't have one standard, but we can just agree that, okay, this one is a general definition to computer. But based on usage, everyone will have a personal view of the computer. So that is why, if we are, I think we have the time to start asking us now, what is a computer? And we are up to 7 here. We are going to have 7 different answers. So the definition of the computer: basic understanding of data processing, which is mostly what computer does. Data processing. Now, the concept of data and information, methods of data processing, and then characteristics of a computer. Those are the things we want to know. But let's start with definition. The definitions, we'll start with defining a computer. Based on this course material and the author, a computer is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. Machine processing data, give required information. Those are the 3 important facts to pick out from that definition. A computer is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. Now, the way they ask this question in the exam is, sometimes they will cut out computer and say a dash is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. They might ask it in fill in the gap, and it might be in OBJ, but you should know that that is the definition of a computer. Now, it is capable of taking input, that is input data through the keyboard. Those are input devices. We can mention a whole lot of them. We have different when we get there, let's not jump. Let's just be taking it one by one like this. So it takes input through the keyboard, for example, and then store the input data in a diskette or hard disk or other medium, that's in the memory unit. Then C, it processes at the central processing unit. That is the meaning of CPU. I believe we all know the meaning of CPU now, or before now rather. Central processing unit. That is the brain box of the computer, where everything that you are seeing on your screen, where the processing is being done, that is the kitchen of the computer, where the mixing and everything is done. Then your screen, your monitor, serves as maybe the dining hall or anywhere, displaying the result of what you've done in the kitchen. So the CPUs represent, the C stands for central, the P processing, and then U stands for unit. That is the full meaning of the CPU. It has several names. We call it the brain of the computer, the main function. In fact, people call it several names. You just take it as the brain of the computer, where every processing and operations take place. Every other part you are seeing, they are just kind of enhancing. Like the monitor now will only show you what has been processed or what is being processed in the CPU for visual, follow-up or so. While the keyboard is, for inputting data and the rest of them. But the main work the computer is doing is being done in the CPU. Please, let's take the full meaning of CPU once again together. We can all unmute now. So what is the full meaning of CPU? Those are questions
Central
in the
processing
exam.
unit.
Is it only one person that is here?
Processing unit.
Yes.
Central processing unit.
Yes. So that is the meaning. And learn the spelling so that when you're asked in the exam, you don't spell it as center. Some of you will say study center. Yeah? This one is central, not center. Now, after processing the CPU, what happens? It gives out a result, which is the output on the screen, which is the VDU, Visual Display Unit. That is another one. See, one thing with this course is you have to be ready to learn abbreviations. A whole lot of them are here, but there are things you probably know before or you see all around you. This VDU now, you see it mostly on monitors, like your television set, you see it there. So it is called Visual Display Unit, which is responsible for displaying the operations that are being done in the CPU. That's where you see it. So output comes on the screen through the VDU, which is the Visual Display Unit. Now, this is a diagram that helps us to understand the flow of operations in a computer. How does it work? We have the input, which is the data that you want to give. For instance, I have a computer. Okay, let me use something we normally do every day. For instance, now, excuse me, you want to load a recharge card on your phone. Those digits that you want to load, who is that person? Please mute yourself. You know you are not contributing anything. You are to only unmute if you have a question or probably when you are no longer hearing me well. So you want to load the recharge card on your phone. Your phone serves as a computer now. The digits, that is those 334411, all those stuff, and *131 or whatever that you used to load it, serves as a data. Once you enter those digits, maybe on the keypad, who is that? Oluwa. So those digits now that you enter on the phone keypad serves as the data. Your aim is that what you really want is that you want recharge card on your phone. Is that also like after loading this thing now, I want to have access to calling someone by recharging. So entering those digits means that my mindset is that I need card on my phone or my line, right? That I need airtime on my line. That's why I'm entering those digits. So the output I'm expecting is what? Airtime or the capacity to call someone with that same line. So now I will enter those digits, *311*, then those long, maybe 12 or 15 digits, then hash at the end. That serves as the data that I'm giving the phone at that time. Once I serve the phone the data and I press send, the processing starts. That processing is done in the CPU, like we mentioned earlier, central processing unit. Your phone has it too. So while you input uh, the digits on the card, the airtime on the phone keypad, and you press send, the processing starts immediately. And once processing is done, an output will be released to you, which is in form of information that may be successful or wrong, depending on the code you enter. So if it's successful, you receive a message that says that you have successfully recharged so and so amount on your phone or on your line, right? Then what you have just done is what? The process is called computing. You give your phone data, which is airtime. Your phone processes it, accepts it successful, shows you the successful notification, and then you have airtime on your line. That's the output. That is not even the output yet. Having airtime on your line means that the process or the processing was done successfully. The output is now you being able to use that same line to call the person you want to call, which is your own aim of starting with recharging the line. So what we expect for giving the computer a data is called output. The data you are giving the computer is called input. What the computer is doing on the data is called processing. So those are the three major things that are involved in operating a computer. The input, which is your data, the processing, which is what you expect the computer to do on that data, and then the output, which is the information that you are requiring or you are kind of requesting from the data you fed the system. Now, that is all about that diagram. That's what the diagram is trying to tell us. Now, the next thing is data. Note, we are still under definitions. The first thing we defined was a computer. We said, who can still remind us the definition of a computer? A tool or a machine which is used for what? Yes? A tool or a machine
Processing
used for what?
the data.
My network is not. Is it the person's network or mine? I'm not hearing
Is
clearly.
a tool used for processing data to give required information?
Good. That is a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. Now let's move on to the next definition, which is data. The term, excuse me, the term data is referred to facts about a person, object, or place, e.g., name, age, complexion, school, glass, sorry, this is class, height, etc. Now, that is all. Now, data is all around you. All the things you do in a day, if you should write it down, it becomes data. The time you left your house for the office in the morning, the type of car you enter or cab, when you came back, the things you did in the office, if it should be recorded on the paper, it will become data. Or you write, you are maybe your this thing for maybe you are writing your kind of daily routine. You have your memo and all those stuff that you use on your phone to, you know, what do they call this? To plan your day. The plan you have for each day, the way you want to go about the day, your routine and everything is data. So data is all around you. The things you do, data. So data is not something you should be cramming that definition of data is all around you. That's why they say it can be defined as a fact about a person, object, place, name of anybody, age, complexion, and the rest of them. So that is the definition of data. Facts about things. Facts about things like person, object, or place. The term data is referred to facts about a person, object, or place. If you grab that, you have the definition. Now, information is the next thing. Information is referred to as processed data or a meaningful statement. Information is referred to as processed data or a meaningful statement. Ordinarily, if I say 1.75, that is data. But if I say it, you want to ask a question that what happens to 1.75 or what is 1.75? That is the next thing. If I just say anything now that is a phrase that does not have that is not complete or doesn't make sense, a question will arise as in your mind that what is this thing? What is this person trying to say? Or what does this thing mean? So that is to tell you that for data is just fact. It may not make meaning or it may not have meaning. But when it comes to information, it must be meaningful. So instead of me to just say 1.75, I might just say that uh, the height of the boy in the middle is 1.75. Now that is information. I'm telling someone that we have some set of boys there. There's a boy in the middle, and the height of that boy is 1.75. That's information. So even if the probably, let's say the person is not there, you are sending someone to a room where three boys are maybe aligned or on a row, and you inform the person right before the person enters the room that the height of the person in the middle is 1.75. The person has information already. So when the person enters that room, it's very easy for the person to know without measuring the person in the middle that the height of that person is 1.75. That's information. But if the person is going into that room and you say 1.75, it doesn't make sense because the person will want to ask what happens to 1.75. So that is the difference between data and information. For data, just raw facts about a person, object, or place. For information, a processed data or meaningful statement. Now, methods of data processing. That's the next thing we are going to. I hope we are understanding though. Oh, I'm rushing it. Are we following? Are we getting it? I hope my network is
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The network is a bit slow, but we are getting it anyway.
As
At
well.
least we can't finish every day, so
Yes, we don't
because
really know.
my battery.
No problem. We will soon, even the time will soon elapse. I know Zoom. In the next 10 minutes now, this class will close. Now, methods of data processing. Now we've learned about computer, that it's all about processing data and in the CPU and then giving out information, which is the output. Now let's deal with data alone. How do we process data? We have three methods actually of data processing, and you should learn the three. These are they normally ask questions from this part. They will list these three. These three will be listed in the options. They will not add one that is not part of them. So they will say the following are major methods of data processing, except, so you are the one to pick out the odd one. But the ones we have manual, mechanical, and computer method. Methods of data processing, we have what? Manual method, we have mechanical method, and computer method. And all these methods are just like advancements from one level to another. For manual method, that was in the medieval period when everything was still local then. During that age when they normally use stick to farm before the invention of cutlass. I know we have less than 10 minutes. So, and then you see that the human race began to advance much more. And instead of stick and using the hands to till the ground, they started using cutlasses, hoes, rake, and the rest of them. And then more advances came. We now have computerized tractors and all those stuff that we use to farm now. I'm just using that for example to give us a picture of the meaning of manual, mechanical, and computer method. Initially, in the process of writing, we only use chalk on the board, or we use, let's say you can use, if you want to write before, you only write on paper and pen. Then gradually they started inventing typewriter. So you can now use typewriter to type a letter instead of writing it with your hands. Then from typewriter, we have advances and we started using computer. So that is the difference between manual, mechanical, and computer method. So let's see how many of them we can do tonight. For manual method, the manual method of data processing involves the use of chalk, wall, pen, pencil, and the like. So the age when they were using all this mentioned method of writing is called the manual method. Then they were using manual method to write. These devices, machine or tools, facilitate human effort in recording. So in the manual method, it is human effort that is most important. If you want to use pen to write now, you have to use your energy. You have to, focus. You make sure that the writing is fine, the thing is well aligned, everything, so your brain is fully involved in the manual method. It is the human that do most of the work. The mechanical method is a bit easier because you can use machine to achieve the work, but you still work too. Unlike computer method now, we want to write a letter now, you just type small line to AI and AI will generate everything. So you see the difference as we go. So now these devices or machine or tools facilitate human effort in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. The manual method or the manual data processing operations entail considerable manual effort. Thus, manual method is cumbersome. Now, what from this statement, we are just talking about the disadvantage of the manual method. This is the definition, kind of definition given to us. The uses of manual method. It is used for recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data. And then, is that person saying something? So we now have the disadvantage of or disadvantages of manual method. One, it is cumbersome.
Please, can you repeat the uses of manual method, please?
Okay, the uses we use manual method to facilitate human effort in recording, one, in classifying, two, in manipulating, three, in sorting, four, and presenting data or information, which is five, just five of them. Recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. So the disadvantages, one, it is cumbersome, it is tiresome, and boring. It's also frustrating and time consuming. If you don't remember any of that, remember time consuming. Because the time it will take you to write a book doing the manual method, the manual age, you can use 10 days to write, to complete. What is even 10 days? You can use months to write a book then. Because of editing, once you make an error, you cancel the page, you pick a new sheet of paper and start writing. But when typewriter came in, which is mechanical method, it become a bit faster. But now it's now very fast. In one day, you can finish a book now if you are fast in typing. So now, let's leave that. What are the disadvantages of manual method? It is cumbersome, it is tiresome, it is boring, it is frustrating, and time consuming. Now, furthermore, the processing of data by the manual method is likely to be affected by human errors. That's another disadvantage. Human errors are inevitable in manual method. When there are errors, then the reliability, accuracy, neatness, tidiness, and validity of the data will be in doubt. That is true. If I should bring a check to you now, and you notice that on the check it was written 1 million naira before, then we shaded something and change it to 3 million naira, even though if it was a genuine mistake, a sincere mistake, once I hand that check to you, you will feel somehow. Why? The validity of that thing is already in doubt because of that human mistake that we wanted to write 3, so we wrote 1 before, so we shaded it to now change it to 3. So that is what we mean by the validity of the operation then, or those writings or whatever they are presenting then, is in doubt because human errors can come in form of inaccuracy, you know, the reliability will be in doubt, the accuracy will be in doubt, the neatness, the tidiness, and then the validity. Now, the manual method does not allow for the processing of large volume of data on a regular and timely basis. That's another disadvantage. When you are using manual method, or when they were using manual method then, it is limited. If you want to write a book of maybe like this kind of material now, 326 pages, you don't know how many days they will use to compile it together then when they're using manual method. It's a whole lot, so you can't use it for large volume of work. Unlike now, that computer will do so many things within how many hours you are done. So that is all about manual method. I think it's only this manual method we'll treat tonight. and we'll continue with mechanical method in the next class because we have just 2 minutes and I don't want to stretch us much. This is just complementing what we might likely to do when the school facilitation starts. So in a short recap before the time elapses, we've talked about the definition of a computer. We've talked about the fact that the computer is fast becoming the uh, is it the machine of the 21st century now? If you still remember that, universal machine of the 21st century, the definition of a computer, when we said that a computer is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. Then we broke down the steps. Network, no even grey again, but no need. We're already ending the class. So make sure you read on your own, please. The little we've done tonight can just go deeper on it on your own during your study time. So thank you for attending tonight. I don't know which one we have next tomorrow, but we have a class tomorrow too. We have a class tomorrow. What is that? Let me check it. Tomorrow should be, I think just 104 or so. I think tomorrow is just 104. That is a general one too, but it's for second semester. So if you are seeing first semester, you might not need to attend. All right, good night, everyone.